Hi, my name is Mary Kay Irving, and I'm a suicide prevention trainer and consultant. In this video, we are going to talk about how you ask someone if they're having thoughts of suicide. As a faith community leader, religious education instructor, or lay leader, you may be concerned about a congregant's potential for suicide. Let's start by looking at examples of some ways a person feeling suicidal may come to your attention. Perhaps you've received a call from a congregant or family member who's concerned about a loved one's potential for suicide, or they are bringing the person in to meet with you. Perhaps you've noticed one of your youth is facing difficulties in his or her life, and you spot warning signs in class. Perhaps during a meeting or casual conversation with a congregant, you notice warning signs or multiple risk factors. If you're not familiar with the warning signs of suicide, first watch the video in this series, Warning Signs and Risk Factors for Suicide. When you notice one or more of the signs or risk factors for suicide for any person of any age or circumstance, in conjunction with a distressing life experience, mental illness, or a past suicide attempt, you should ask about thoughts of suicide. Always ask clearly and directly in a neutral, non-judgmental, and caring voice. Let's do a quick review of some of the key warning signs. Feeling hopeless, helpless, worthless, or like they're a burden. Making references to giving up, death, endings and finality, or noticing abrupt mood shifts or behavior changes. Here are a few examples of ways you can ask your congregant if they're having thoughts of suicide. Are you thinking about suicide? Are you having thoughts about ending or taking your life? Have you been thinking about killing yourself? Sometimes, when people are going through a hard time like you've described, they have thoughts of suicide. Is that happening for you? If you feel uncomfortable asking these questions, I recommend you practice. Ask a colleague, a staff member, or trusted friend to role play with you. You will never feel completely comfortable asking this question. That's normal. You still need to ask the question. It's important to know that asking this question is imperative, as it's the only way to know. Most people feel anxious asking this question and may worry about planting the idea in someone's head if they're not having those thoughts. Asking if someone is thinking about suicide does not give someone who is not suicidal the idea. There is no information to support that notion. Think about a challenging time in your own life. If a friend asked you if you were having thoughts of suicide, would you then add that to your current list of options? More likely, it gives you perspective to your current problems. It also demonstrates that you're the kind of person who's willing to talk about very important topics. If someone is contemplating taking their life and they are asked the question, it often provides great relief to finally talk about it with someone. It's often the rope towards safety, the lifeline that they need. Often just having the opportunity to talk about it opens them up to other options and the realization that they don't want to die. The other worry that may come up for you is the fear that the person's life is at imminent risk and your urge might be to call 911 in that very moment. I want to encourage you to be patient and take a deep breath. Unless the person has a weapon in hand or they indicate they are leaving that very moment to obtain their means of self-harm or death, they're likely to be safe while they're speaking with you. The person is there talking to you because they want help and they're still hoping that someone might be able to help. Staying with them as a compassionate presence as they talk about whatever is bothering them is what they need in the moment. When you ask the suicide question, the answer you get may not be a clear yes or no. It might sound like, not right now, or maybe, or it comes up now and then, but I push it away, and so on. Many of these answers are veiled yeses. These are all openings for a conversation to help delineate whether it is a likely possibility that they are having thoughts of suicide. If they say yes, directly or indirectly, stay calm. This is good information to have. If they say no, help them in the way you would normally help someone with the problems that they're having. If they say no to having thoughts of suicide, and you still think that they may be suicidal, you may need to talk with them a bit longer and then ask the question again if they're having thoughts of suicide. Trust your instincts and follow up with them later if you have concerns. Once your congregant has said yes to having thoughts of suicide, your goal is to help them help themselves to stay safe and alive. View the next video in the series, Responding to a Suicidal Person, to learn how to proceed with compassion. Any thoughts of suicide are serious. Don't dismiss them as not serious or as just a means of getting attention. Do give them the attention this matter deserves. Be sure to watch the other videos in the Caring Clergy Project, Suicide Intervention and Response series, and the Making Referrals series. Remember, you can be a key person in helping your congregants find hope and reassurance and help connect them to life-saving resources. Thank you for being a caring clergy.